Good morning.
Good morning.
It is a good morning. It's a great morning. Every day is a great day. Why? Because we wake up in the morning and we have the gift of another day, and we have the gift of unity of Fort Collins as a place to come together where we practice the spiritual tools that can guide us in our lives so that we can experience more joy and peace, prosperity, good health. And so we want to welcome you to our celebration service this morning here at Fort Collins. We're so grateful for your presence, knowing that we are all part of that divine love intelligence that is breathing me, that is breathing you, and all of creation. So, welcome. We are so grateful that you are joining us either in the moment of Sunday at 10 a.m. or when you were able to join us. We're here to serve, we're here to remember who we are. Our vision statement at Unity of Fort Collins is that we are centered in love, inspired by spirit. We awaken, we connect, and thrive. That is the truth of us and the truth of you as well. So I have a few announcements just to get going.
Just a few.
Just a few.
Okay.
There's a lot of things actually happening here at Unity of Fort Collins behind the scenes. One of them, which is a pretty big scene, is that we are having our sanctuary painted today.
As we speak.
There is a team of men. The men's group at Unity of Fort Collins has stepped in, and said, we can do this. So it's a brightening of the sanctuary in the foyer. So a special shout out to my cause and to the men's group here at Unity who are taking this on and bringing love and light into our sanctuary, into our foyer, so that when we come together, we'll just feel the love. It'll be in the walls. Special shout out to our prep team headed by Reverend Divine, for Anne Hodges, for Nina Kunze, and
You?
and me. Yes, I did help. For Gerald and for Randy assisting with moving things about for us as well. It's been wonderful to see all the angels that have been here taking care of things and making it a greater space so that when we do come together, we can feel it and see it. So it's all for the highest and greatest good for all of us. Announcements, everything you can find here is where?
I think it's on our Unity page.
Our
The
Unity of
website.
Fort
Yeah.
Collins.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I
Just
think
was
you
a
can find it.
quick
on
quiz
there.
to see if you knew. So you can find everything that's going on here. We have community connection today at 12 o'clock noon via Zoom. We have Heart Talks via Zoom on Tuesday morning.
We have it at 11, don't we?
What did I say?
12.
Oh, well, that's
Just thought you might want the correct time to join us.
another test.
Sorry.
It's at 11. Yes. And meditation, 6 p.m., Facebook Live. And then next Saturday, that's the big one, we are having community unity cleanup. So you are invited next Saturday, April 24th, from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. You can come the whole time or just part of the time. Bring a sack lunch and a beverage so that you can join and see each other and help just take care of the grounds. It'll be a fun way to connect and see each other and be safe because we're social distancing and being outside. So I think it's going to be a great weather day as well. That's it for the announcements. So let us now just take a pause and get centered. So I'm going to invite you to join me in our centering prayer. Invite you to close your eyes. Take a breath and let it go. Another breath and let it go. And just notice your breath. Notice the natural rhythm of inhalation and exhalation. And we recognize that that breath isn't even our breath, that it is the spirit of life, the divine love intelligence that is breathing me, that is breathing you, that is breathing all of creation. And so we open in gratitude to that life force and source, that power, that presence of divine love intelligence. No matter what we call it, we know that it is a power and a presence that ultimately is unconditional, all-encompassing love. Love is in the air that we breathe and is breathing us. And we give thanks. We give thanks for the recognition of this spirit of life, that we are all individualized, unique expressions of divine love, for we recognize that this divine energy of love is everywhere present in all that is seen and unseen, and that we are divine love and expression. Here to remember who we are and to bring more love into our personal lives and into our world. We give thanks for Reverend Divine as she brings a profound and deep and mind-expanding message to us today. We are ready to receive. We are receptive to the message and to the music. So we just give thanks for the blessings of our being a community that believes in love and is the practice of love. And so we just give thanks, knowing it is already so, as we say together, and so it is. And so now I invite you to join us in our unity blessing, which will come up on our screen. Our unity centers us in light and peace, allowing us to recognize our God within and to radiate that love to the world. And so it is.
Good morning and welcome. I want to give great thanks to our musician today, Colleen Akikio, who I had the pleasure of meeting in Lake Tahoe. I want to read a little bio about her and thank her for her music, which helps support our hearts opening and being able to receive all that we hear. Colleen is born of a violinist father and a pianist mother. She took to the piano while growing up and on the periphery of her parents' living room rehearsals and auditorium encores. Her adolescent rebellious time included rocking out on the guitar with her talented older brother. At 13, she started penning her own songs while practicing for classical music performances. Eventually, she expanded her smorgasbord of musical experience by performing in a variety of bands, duos, and assemblies. Colleen continues to write songs from her home in the high desert mountains near Wellington, Nevada, where she lives with her husband, Chris, and their newly adopted companion, Lila. They are love, and I know that through this music, you will feel your heart's opening as I do when I listen to her. So thank you, Colleen, for your music.
This is a new song about how and why we show up to be with Spirit, to have that special, amazing time. And if it's one you like, I'd love to help you learn it. For the highest good, for the deepest love, for the truest knowing, like a child I come, in the warming light, in the healing life, remembering why I am here, breathing in one presence, here, singing with my soul, the highest good, for the deepest love, for the truest knowing. Like a child I come in the warming light, in the healing life, remembering why I am here, breathing in one presence, here, singing with my soul, here, being in one essence, here above, here below, here above, here below, here above, here below.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. My name is Reagan Wascom. I'm a member of Unity of Fort Collins, and it's my pleasure to bring you the inspirational reading this morning. So the theme of our reading is guidance, and our affirmation today is, I am grateful for the gift of spiritual intuition. When I need to make a decision or decide my next steps, my first thought might be to look for direction outside of myself. Today, I make a new choice. I become quiet and receptive and connect with my still small voice. Fresh ideas and specific solutions arise in my mind as I place my oneness with God at the forefront of my mind. If I have a question, I write it down, go into meditation, and trust my impressions. I invest some time in a spiritual search using my intuition, aligning with that part of me that knows answers and inspiration are already at hand. I tap into an abundant storehouse of knowledge and discover more about who I am and who I am called to be along this journey of a lifetime.
Bright star shining through this dark night, you are truly all right. Even when you feel your heart beats alone, you're not alone. Above these broken stories, we sing of home's sweet glory. Our spirits remember where we came from. We came from. Oh, love, only love, pure, invincible, blazing love. Create the daybreak, illusions fade when we're awake, fury and fear dissolve as hope appears. Behold, truth arises with many stars to guide us. Even when the news is dark, we shine like one sun. Oh, invincible, blazing love. Oh, love, only love. We are bright stars, bright stars. Oh, love, only love, pure, invincible, blazing love. Oh, love, only love. We are bright stars, bright stars, bright stars.
So this month, our theme is will. We're using the 12 power each month. And the power of will, last week, Rev Liz spoke about choice and commitment. And I'm going to continue with that, with the components of will, or actually I should say willingness or willfulness. And the talk title is Grow Where You're Planted. What I'd like you to consider while I'm speaking is, are you willing to grow where you're planted? And we've had some interesting times this past year in growing with whatever's going on for us at the time. So keep that in mind. Will is an ability to make decisions and take action, to be at choice for the decisions you want to make. Willingness is a state of allowing. Allowing is our capacity to welcome our experiences and receive its gifts, to cooperate rather than control the flow of the divine idea. Willingness is playing your best with what you have. Willingness is the fuel to make commitment possible. So as Reverend Liz spoke about commitment last year, seems like last year, it was only last week. That's what this pandemic is doing. I'm having pandemic brain today. So I'm doing my best to not allow that to take over. Charles Fillmore has a quote. He says, stubborn, willful resistance states of mind congest the life flow. So you see, when you're trying to control things, that congestion does mess up your mind a little, and you kind of get a little scattered or spacey. I would like to open up with a quote. I truly believe that everything that we do and everyone that we meet is put on our path for a purpose. There are no accidents. We're all teachers. If we're willing to pay attention to the lessons we learn, trust our positive instincts, and not be afraid to take risks or wait for some miracle to come knocking at your door. And that's from Marla Gibbs. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little bit tired of the pandemic. I'm sure many of you can find ways to relate to that comment. I moved here not quite a year and a half ago, and I came of free choice. I made a willing choice and I came here. And everything was completely different from what I was accustomed to. And I did not realize about myself that I have a willful streak that is often like a 5-year-old just screaming, I want it my way, and literally having a full-on temper tantrum. So I get here, climate's completely different. I was prepared for that. People were completely different. I'm from a very diverse culture, all ethnicities. And I came to a culture that was not that expression. And that was a very big shock to me. You could have told me that the demographics were mostly white, but I wouldn't have really connected to what that meant because I didn't have a reference point to that. So I was doing my best to grow where I was planted. And then the pandemic, only a few minutes, again, pandemic brain, only a few months later, shut us down. When I say shut us down, it changed how we did services, but it also changed me and my ability to adapt to where I was. You see, I hadn't had an opportunity to find my new restaurants or my new coffee shop or new places to go and explore. So it allowed me to stay in that willful place of, I want it my way, the way I'm familiar with it, the way I like it to be. And as an introvert, I didn't mind being in the house so much. That was fine. But I did have, from frustration and grief from leaving my prior community, and some negative thinking and stubbornness of willfulness, I created a huge health issue for myself. And I was down and out for about a month. I was not mobile. And I needed to process what that was about. And when I was finally able to name it as a form of grief, it helped me at least feel the grief. And I couldn't even connect to the concept of the pandemic component of grief. It was just moving grief. So I think I had a tremendous amount of resistance and pushback. I kept thinking, these folks just really want things to be their way. Like they're continuously reminding me, this is what we like. And I'm thinking, well, we need to do this, that, and the other thing. And it dawned on me, whoa, I'm doing the same thing. This is what I like. And I want you all to do what I like. And it was really remarkable for me to see how dug in I was about it. I looked at it as if it was my garden. And you know how gardens ideally want to bloom this time of year. But if there's so many weeds in the garden, they're choking the flowers out. So in my own consciousness of negativity, staying in my stubborn, willful place, I was choking out all that wanted to bloom. I was choking out the possibilities of grow where you're planted. And if we continue to stay in that mind space, we can't allow newness. Now, I hear people continuously say, I can't wait till we get back to normal. Well, I scratch my head and wonder all the time what normal is. Or they say, oh, I'm so grateful we're getting closer to getting back to what used to be, which is the familiar, the known. Do we really want to get back to what's familiar? Well, yeah, some parts of us do, but do we want to go backwards? We're always evolving in consciousness. We're growing. That is our nature. If we stand still, we become stagnant, and nothing can grow from stagnation. So when I hear people say, oh, I just wanted to get back to what it was, I started realizing we have not paid attention to the gifts of the pandemic. I know you're thinking gifts, what gifts? No gifts. Unless, of course, you call, gaining weight and an expanded waistline gifts. No, I'm talking about our home projects. We have had tremendous time to do things we never made time for or even knew we wanted to do. We have embraced every possible home repair project we could. We've taken on new hobbies like puzzles, crossword puzzles, um, reading books, all kinds of things that were on the do list when I have time. Some of us have been forced from the employment we had to recreate work opportunities. And for some of us, that was an opportunity to create a venue we never even thought we could do. How many businesses have been birthed due to this? Yes, we could focus on the loss, but I want to focus on the gifts that it has offered us. Because when we can look at the gifts and acknowledge it and give great thanks to it, we can prepare to move on. Not to what we knew back then, but what wants to be emerging now. Many of us, we've been getting vaccinated. Some of us choose to, some of us don't. I respect your choices. And we have this belief that once we get vaccinated, poof, everything's the same. Now we can all gather and pack ourselves in and go right back to whatever we left off at, without giving thought to perhaps a ramification. It's our willful part that wants what we had. We want it. We're done. We're tired. We're exhausted. We're worn out. And I've heard the expression pandemic fatigue. Well, I think that we're all grieving in a lot of ways we've not thought about. I hear people say, I just want to give somebody a hug, and have that feel so sad. Well, what I know about me is I would have probably already flown home. California is my home base, will always be in my mind. I would have flown home to visit my mother and my brother at least once by now, probably twice. And I haven't. I haven't been able to. We've chatted, like many of you. You haven't seen your family, your friends, your loved ones, people dear to you. We all have different ways with our Zoom meetings and FaceTime and all the different electronic ways with Zoom and such to connect, but it's so different. So I'm asking myself right now, what's next? This is what it's been. We're gradually not coming out of it per se, having a shift in it. And the reason I say not coming out of it is because it seems as though whenever we let our guard down and jump right back into the same activities we prefer to have, we notice the number shifting. So I urge us all to do our best to be patient. And that's really what grow where you're planted means to me. Be present to what's going on for you right now. That's what's happening right now. Embrace it. Because nothing stays the same. We're always shifting, as I'd mentioned. So, if you're planning on something, then plan on it. I know I just got word, my little cousin in New York, I say little, she's 13, I don't even know her, on Friday had her bat mitzvah, which in Jewish tradition is a rite of passage for a young lady. She had to have it put off for a year due to the pandemic. And she was able to have it this past Friday. And there was inclement weather. And I know she had to struggle through many things to actually allow that to happen. So that is the mix. And I'm sure I already mentioned this, but I was just thinking about how that must have been for a 13-year-old, that this is a great big celebration. This is a very big event in her life. She has to wait. She has to wait. And I know we're all experiencing the get on your mark, get set, we have to wait. I want to just say, what are you dreaming about having when you're able to travel again, when you're able to go visit loved ones, when you're able to go back to concerts, movies, bowling? What are you thinking about at this moment that will give you joy? Not a bunch of things you don't want to do, because that's what we're at right now with this pandemic brain is we're listing things we're tired of doing, we don't want to do anymore. What are we willing to move into that's different, that serves us? And I've had a chance to reflect on, where am I in my ministry? Where are you in your life, your ministry, that serves me and gives me joy? And here's what I want you to consider. If you didn't have the mind chatter that blocked your good and said, oh, I can't do that, and you stopped being willful and arguing for your limitations of why you can't do or have something, what would you be willing to consider? What would you be willing to prepare yourself to launch into? That's the next greatest part of your life. So instead of going into that backward land, we are focusing on what is growing inside of our soul that wants to be expressed. And how? How can we? Are we willing to just take little leaps every day to the next expression of who we are? I keep thinking about the things I see on the news. And I don't know about you, I'm really, really, really tired of seeing so much negativity on the news. I've had to stop watching it because I get so upset. I cry, I rant, I scream. I just get so upset. And I get so upset about things that are just unnecessary. Death, crises. And I thought, do we have to just only put our attention on that? Can't we have any things to look forward to? Now, I am a social activist. Always have been, always will be. And I kept telling myself, when we had all of the things going on this past summer with Black Lives Matter and protests all over the country, if I was in California, I'd be at the protest marches. And I had to stop myself and say, no, you wouldn't. There's a pandemic. We're not meeting in that way. But I kept going back again to the familiar. And so recently I started giving thought to, okay, what can I do that's proactive locally? And if I'm not able to find the venues that I feel called to right here in Fort Collins, there are things not far away in Boulder or Denver that I could get involved in to feed the social activist within me and make my contribution. And that helped me to start making the little baby step list of the things that give me joy. So I really want to ask you, think about, what have I gained in the pandemic that is now catapulting me into the next greatest aspect of myself? Have you been reading a lot of books, maybe taking some classes, taking online tutorials, and just listening to different things to expand your mind? Have you? I know some of you are saying, I haven't, I'm tired of it. Okay, well then take a new way of looking at how you can express yourself with that. Take a look and see, where can I possibly explore new ways, open myself up, and bloom. Yes, bloom where I'm planted. I want to read this quote to you. We must be willing to let go of the life we have planned so we can have the life that is waiting for us. And that is E.M. Foster. And I say that to you because for many of us, we're planners. We make our list of doing, still want to control, still want it to be our way. And the reason that call to me is I own that. And I'm really working at letting go of that part that it's my way. No, there's many ways. And they're all great ways. And how do we be open and receptive to getting out of our way to what wants to come through? As this actually says, let go of the life I've planned for myself to allow what wants to be birthed next, to allow what wants to come through and express itself as you and your greatness. And as I had mentioned, our job is to be the best we can be with what we have. And so I've learned for myself in this contemplative time, my expression I like to use, I release, I let go, I let God. Every time I feel myself getting stuck and dug in my stubborn willfulness, I now start to say, let go. Let go. Let that higher part of yourself, your infinite wisdom, your intuition, let that lead you, guide you. Be opened, be willing, be present to the flow of life instead of grasping to what was. It was. We can't be in the past. We remain in the present moment. We can't be in the future. We're missing the present moment. So let's be in the present moment, find the joy, find the good, and then be willing. Yes, willing to take a step, And when you have the willful moments, ask yourself, is this going to support me and serve me as a determination factor? Or is this getting me dug in to my own righteousness, my own child within, having the temper tantrum of my way and blocking your flow, blocking your good? Let us just take a moment. Remember the gifts. And remember, am I willing, really, am I willing to grow where I'm planted? How many times have you seen a little tiny flower breaking through cement? It's growing where it's planted. If it could move through cement, you can be opened to being present to where we are with whatever the situation is right now, knowing that tomorrow's a new day, God willing, and something else will be present. And I want to stay open to seeing it available to me. I want to accept the gifts. I want to accept the presence of the present. Thank you so much for being willing. Yeah. To access that part of yourself. What's your next adventure? What are you willing to plan, to step into? And let's just take a moment to go inward. Just to let that settle in and to give thanks for seeing the parts of ourselves that are willing and unwilling to see the parts that get dug in and the parts that are open and receptive, and give thanks to ourselves for all that we have been experiencing this past year. Give thanks. And know that as we give thanks and open ourselves up and be receptive, more good can come through. Oh, more good can come through, and we are willing and open to receive it. For it is our divine birthright to receive the kingdom of goodness. So let us be open and receptive to our greatness, our goodness, our bounty. And know that there is always more to express, more to be revealed, more to understand. Thank you. Namaste. And so it is.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is everywhere. And every thought's indeed a prayer. May the blessings of God rest upon me. May God's peace abide in me. May God's presence illuminate my heart now and forevermore. May the blessings of God rest upon you. May God's peace abide in you. May God's presence illuminate your heart now and forevermore. May the blessings of God rest upon us. May God's peace abide in us. May God's presence illuminate our hearts now and forevermore. Now and forevermore.
Thank you, Reverend Divine. Thank you, Colleen. Beautiful message and music today. So grateful for the blessings. And it is that time of our service where we give our gratitude and our thankfulness through tithes, through our gifts and offerings. We just are so blessed and so grateful for the prosperity consciousness that every one of us has, and how your contributions, your donations to Unity of Fort Collins really supports the work that we have come here to do and that we are doing, transforming lives and building dreams together. So thank you so much. And please continue to send your love in the form of your donations, either PayPal or a credit card on the front page of our Unity website, or you can send that in or drop it off at the office. So please join me now as we speak our prosperity blessing together. And please put your hands upon your heart and imagine yourself blessing and giving thanks together as we speak our blessing. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Grow me down like the roots of a tall standing tree, searching hard in the drought for that deep running spring. Grow me down from the sky of my star-seeking pride to your arms opened wide. Grow me down. Don't need to grow up to be wise as a child, to run in your lap when my world has gone wild, growing safe in the soil of your mothering heart, seeing me, breathing me, being me you are. So grow me down like the roots of a tall standing tree, searching hard in the drought for that deep running spring. Grow me down from the sky of my star-seeking pride to your arms opened wide. Grow me down. I am rooted deep in truth as I grow toward the light. I am rooted deep in truth as I grow toward the light. I am rooted deep in truth as I grow toward the light. I am rooted deep in truth, growing down like a child. I'm growing down like the roots of a tall standing tree.
Please join me in the Unity Prayer for Protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is.
Aho, Fort Collins Unity. So good to be with you again.
Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for letting me come and share these songs with you. I hope you enjoy them. If you'd like to hear more, if you'd like to sing any of them, if you'd like some written music, just reach out and get in touch with me. I'd love to hear from you. My email is akikosongs@gmail.com. It's AKIKOSONGS. Enjoy springtime. Much love to each and every one of you. Thank you. Namaste. Complete, whole, and perfect, growing deep in grace. I'm feeling heaven's love shining on my face, moving through illusions, soaring in the truth, bringing in a brighter world with hope and gratitude. Complete, whole, and perfect, growing deep in grace. I'm feeling heaven's love shining on my face, moving through illusions, soaring in the truth, bringing in a brighter world with hope and gratitude. This is real, this is true. Breathing me, breathing you, in the one who is love. We are here, we are one. Complete, whole, and perfect, growing deep in grace. I'm seeing heaven's love shining on your face, moving through illusions, soaring in the truth, bringing in a brighter world with hope and gratitude. This is real, this is true. Breathing me, breathing you, in the one who is love. We are here, we are one. Complete, whole, and perfect, growing deep in grace. We're feeling heaven's love shining on our face, moving through illusions, soaring in the truth, bringing in a brighter world with hope and gratitude. This is real, this is true. Breathing me, breathing you, in the one who is love. We are here, we are one. This is real, this is true. Breathing, we're feeling heaven's love, breathing you, in the one who is love. We are here, we are one. We are here, we are love.
So I want to give thanks for everyone's participation today. I know whether you're listening now or whether you're listening at a different time, you're sending your vibrational love and energy. I thank Andres for being the mix master in the house, making sure everything is aligned and running smoothly. For without that, we wouldn't be here together. I give thanks for the music, the wonderful music from Colleen Akikio. I give thanks for our receptivity to grow where we're planted and go out and have an amazing week. And I bless you all wish you well on your journey, one step at a time, one moment at a time, one day at a time. Peace be with you and travel safely wherever you are on your journey. I send you love and blessings. Thank you, and so it is.